course I didn't, of course I ain't, of course mama, I'm saying, of course I'm saying. Wasn't saved by the bell, not like Morris, they're saying. Of course I got bars like back doors, I just slam. Of course I got no wife, of course I got no kids, of course it wasn't cause of praying. Of course there's some blood in the veins. Of course I'm a fucking loser, and of course all my bills gotta be strong in the pack. Of course there's an X-ray in the pan. Of course there's an X-ray in the sham. Of course it's gonna happen, of course it's gonna happen. Of course the old bitch shit's gonna rain. Not just in fuck, not just when shit hits a fan. Wasn't a dance when they're hitting the lamb. Wasn't even running when ran in the bank. Sunday just call it Iran. Of course I might just be going back to the can. All of that he ain't no tan. Of course probably needed a seat when you sang. Of course Peter B in the pan. Probably won't be making millions of course. Probably but either way thanks. Probably them dudes wasn't willing of course. Probably won't really the man. Of course on the course it was seriously course. Of course skip those Of course they'll be mad. Of course, don't go outside. I'm just a suit, just no plea in the Porsche. Of course she just needed a bag. 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 Don't even think about being a bag. Can I get some fries with that shake shack, boy? Can I get some fries with that shake shack, boy? Can I get some fries with that shake shack, boy? Don't mind me, I'm a dork. Lose everything, was asleep on the floor. Do not disturb, not only on the doors. Wasn't the lead, wanna be like the Morse. Of course it get deep, be like the horse. Of course let them sleep, let them be, let them snort. Cleans the bees when they're cleaning their corpse. The only wheeze when we be the north. You gotta be good to be a good sport. Making a record is making a court. Fucked up your future, no you can't perform. You got a pussy, go be in a porn. You got a face guard that's sweet in the lawn. Better than watching TV in the orange. Put a hoe right in that bitch if it's boring. Of course I'm calm like it's 6 in the morning. Not always easy to fix if you're Marvin. Baby you're adoring. Me I'm a Dorian. Of course you probably don't love me no more. Of course you probably don't love me no more. Of course you'll fuck it, then keep your reward. Of course on the course it was seriously course. Of course you lose. Of course they'll be mad. Of course don't go outside. I'm just a suit, just no plea in the Porsche. Of course she just needed a bag. 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 Don't even think about being a fag. Can I get some fries with that shake shack, boy? Can I get some fries with that shake shack, boy? Can I get some fries with that shake shack, boy?